Okay, today we've got fun strength work ahead of us. So not as much just high rep and sculpting. So this will be more strength oriented. So I want you to have some little bit heavier weights or weighted objects that you have around. We're going to do low reps, but we will work on building up some strength. If you are working on things such as push-ups or plank holds and things like that that you need a little assist on, go ahead and have an elevated surface as well. So I'll show you modifications and different variations of levels that you can work at as we move along through our workout today. The first round of our workout on each section we're going to do with no weights at all. So we'll be going through the movements and you'll be able to identify the muscles that we're working, and then we'll go back and add the weights. So let's get started with some core work so that we can get the body stabilized, get the core engaged so that it can help support our spine and support our body while we're working our limbs today, especially. So coming on down, let's take a little roll back onto the mat. And we'll start with the knees drawing in toward the chest. So just start here and rock around a few times. Then we'll begin to find that core engagement by pulling the rib cage down, drawing navel towards spine, and engaging your rib cage into the mat. So not just smashing your back down, but really pulling down from the front to the back and engaging, holding legs in a tabletop position to start. Reach the arms overhead, and then start to drop the toes to the floor. Inhale. And then exhale, sweep the arms around, draw the knees toward the chest, not with your hands, but with your core. Scoop in deeper, and then lift the shoulders. So we'll inhale, drop the toes down, keep the rib cage drawn in, reach overhead, exhale, sweep around, and draw in. Inhale, so we're just doing a little tuck to hollow hold. So right here, just your toes, tip of your toes touching the floor, okay, without allowing the core to disengage. So sweep, exhale, lift and reach. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, lift up. And we'll take last two. Inhale, exhale, draw it in. One more. And exhale in. All right, very good. So resting back, hands right behind the head. We're going to rest the head on the floor to start with. Take the legs up, straighten the legs out. They don't have to be completely straight. So a soft bend in the knee is fine. And start to lower the legs down. Now, when you find the spot that you can hold the legs, I want you to stay there so that you can hold fairly, not so much easy, but you can hold it without too much extra engagement. And then draw your rib cage back in. Hold here. Start to float the feet apart. And now just little flutter kicks. So just crisscrossing your legs. One goes in top and then the other. Deep breath. Now, you can lift your shoulders, next option, which is fluttering the legs. And that might be quite high for you. So maybe it's up here. You can start to lower it down. So we can add a little extra movement, lowering those legs down. Inhale. Bring it back up. Inhale, exhale it out. Four more, just like this. Inhale, and you could keep your legs completely steady just in one place, or you can move them up and down like I'm doing here. Okay, last two. Inhale, exhale it out. Last one. Inhale, and exhale. Bring it back up. Point the feet toward the sky. Flex the feet through the heels to the sky. Toes towards your head. That means your knees can be bent as well. Okay, lift up. Take right hand toward left heel. Cross it over. Inhale back to center and then switch sides. Inhale center. Exhale cross. And cross. So we'll just try to keep moving here side to side. Deep breath. Exhale it out. Four more each side. Four, cross, three, two, and last one. Bring the feet down. Just plant the feet here. See if you can anchor your feet. We're not coming all the way up. So hands are behind the head. Inhale. Exhale, curl just a little crunch, and bring it back down. I want you to make sure you keep that space here between chin and chest. Curl just the shoulders up, bring it down. So as you're curling, you're making sure that your pelvis stays level, hip point to hip point, and pubic bone, all in the same space here, in that nice flat space. Inhale, exhale, meaning they're not rocking forward or rocking back. Exhale, lift, and lower down. 4 more. Float up, crunch, bring it down. Make sure that you're not allowing your chin to jut forward. 3, just scoop in, hollow out. 2. And last one, you're gonna hold this one and little bitty pulses right here. Up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it here. Now lifting left knee, right elbow crossing over into a first level variation crisscross, side to side. Inhale, exhale, cross. Feeling that core getting warmed up. It's going to be ready to support us throughout our movements. We're going 4, 3, 2 more each side. And last one. Come back to center. Take the legs back up. Now as you reach the toes toward the floor again, a little bit further away from you, bring it back up and reach. Okay? So bring the toes down. Inhale. Exhale. You can keep your shoulders lifted or bring them back down to the mat. Okay, now on your next one, I want you to hold right leg down, bring left leg only up and reach. Bring it back down, bring the right leg up and reach. Okay. Bring the other right leg down, left leg up. So we're not planting the toe, we're not planting the foot, we're just holding. So there's still a hover there. Okay, reach. Inhale, exhale, reach. Good. Let that toe. You can start to straighten that other leg out a little bit further if you like. We will work into that again later. Okay. Keep reaching one leg. Good. And last 4. Okay. 4 total. So we go here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Very good. Bring the knees in. Give it a hug again. Stretch it out, full body stretch, and then go ahead, bring the feet back to the mat, rock your knees over to one side, press up. We're going to come to standing. So finding your way up to standing from that kneeling position. So first round of standing moves, we'll go through without any weights, and then we can add in more resistance. So it'll be more like our warm up here. Okay, so toes turned out. We're going to start, actually, let's go ahead and take the feet in. We don't have to go so wide just yet. So just the movement here. I want you to bring your elbows out to the sides into cactus arms. Shoulders drop back and down. So notice there's not a lift here. They're dropping down. You're maintaining the ribs pulled in rather than letting them splay open. So draw that back in. Core engaged. We're just going to slide the arms up like they're sliding up a wall and bring it back down. Inhale. Exhale, slide up. Now when you slide up, make sure those shoulders stay away from your ears. If you have a wall or something behind you that you could slide your arms on, you could practice it here. Okay, but it's not mandatory, obviously. But if you have that available and it's easy to get to, you could practice. Try to keep your forearms on the space behind you, or just imagine that you are. And we'll take 2 more. Inhale. Exhale up. And give me last one. And bring it back to center. Now just flipping your palms in like you're holding something right here in front of your chest. Take the legs out wide. So sumo squat or sumo plie, dropping down, knees not past your toes. So make sure that you take your legs out pretty wide. If your heels need to come in a little bit, just find the sweet spot that's for you and how it feels for your knees. So you're lowering down, and as you come up, you're going to reach up to the sky, bring it back down. Inhale, exhale. Keeping your rib cage drawn in. So you're really getting that core engaged. Resist, even without any weights here, you can still find some resistance by pushing through your feet, pulling your heels toward each other, and feel like you're really pushing up to the sky. 3, 2, and last 1. Good, pause here. So you could stay facing forward toward me. I'm going to turn to the side, so you're still holding like you're holding some weights at your chest here. Okay, we're going to step up. Now finding a little chair squat. Stepping back with the left foot into lunge. Bring it back up and then switch. Back. Bring it back to that chair every time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale up. Good. Deep breath. Notice the front leg's not really moving much at all. It's just stationary, holding you here. Hinging from the knee just a bit to drop down a little lower. Come up. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Now pausing in that same chair squat, bring the arms down. Your palms are still facing forward. Hold here and then pull back. Squeeze. Bring it back down. Inhale. So it's a supine row, meaning our palms are facing up. Inhale. And we can engage those muscles. I'll turn towards you by making sure that your elbows are pulling in and we're squeezing right here, the lats. They run all down through here. Okay, around the sides and down. So inhale, exhale, pull back, bring it down. Make sure the core is still engaged. You're knitting up through the rib cage to your hips. Squeeze it. So this is a great one to do without any additional weight added because we want to really feel the movement. Squeeze it in. You're not just moving through the motion. You're squeezing and feeling. Last 2. Last 1. Now flip your palms towards your legs. Straighten the legs a little bit, not all the way. Lower down, hinge from the hips. Make sure your back can stay flat. If you're rounding and hunching here, I want you to bend those knees a little more. Okay, lift the chest and then lower down. Come all the way up to standing. Give your glutes a squeeze. Okay, bring it back down. Same thing. Inhale, relax your glutes here. Exhale, engage through the back of your legs all the way up. Now being mindful that when you come up, you're not popping it forward and pushing your chest back. Okay, so that's going to be a hyperextension of your low back. Just come up and engage. Okay, inhale, down, exhale, come up. Inhale, so really without weights as we're doing now. Oftentimes we might call this a good morning. Elbows actually be out to the side, usually in a good morning. But it's the same move, right? We're engaging back of the legs. Inhale, exhale. So notice that when we get weights added to this, we want to be really mindful that we're not rounding in the back. And give me 1 more. You should feel the back of your legs and glutes really engaging already. And then pull back up. All right. Now shake that all out. We're going to grab some weights here. We're going to do all of that with some extra resistance. Okay, so come back to center. We're going to take the weights up, elbows out. Make sure that the elbows don't drop down here below the shoulder line. Soften knees, find your kinetic chain from your feet, toes spread wide. Pull up through the legs without locking the knees. Scoop up just a little bit through the core. Get rib cage drawn down, shoulders back. All right. So now everything's in line. Elbows out, same height as your shoulders. Pressing overhead and bring it down. Inhale, exhale. So you really feel your core firing here, especially if your weights are a little heavier. You'll feel your core having to really engage to help you stay steady and stable. Inhale, exhale. Good. 4 more. 4, 3, 2 more. Very nice. And 1. Now flip your palms towards you. Bring your elbows in. Stand wide. Back to your sumo. We're coming down. And now you're going to push it up to the ceiling again in front of you. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale up. Good. Keeping the rib cage drawn down, especially here. It's a little more challenging, I think, because I'm trying to lift those weights to the front of me and the ribs want to flare out. Okay, so I want to keep that pulled in. Last 3, 2, and last 1. Good job. All right, bring the weights down. We'll come back into that little chair position. Shoulders are back. Inhale, stepping right foot back into a lunge. Bring it up. So all we've done is add some extra weight to lift and lower. If you feel like you need to drop your weights, go ahead and do so. We're alternating one leg back and then the other. Deep breath. Inhale. Exhale up. So every time, come back to that little chair squat. Okay, there's not a big movement. We're just stepping back, lowering down, back into chair. Come on, we've got 4 more. Back. 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Now, pause, flip the palms toward the front, lower down, flat back, hold it here. Now, pull back and release. Bend those knees, keep your back pretty flat, and as far over as you can come into that hinged position. Inhale, exhale, squeeze. Remember, we're squeezing the elbows in, like you're tucking them in. So with that back flat, elbows go behind your rib cage, up toward the sky behind you. Try to lift your chest a little bit. Back of your neck is long. Last 4. Good. 3, really pull them back. The wrists go back by your waist or hips. 2. Last 1. Now flip those palms back down. Lower down further. Come all the way up. We do not want to feel this in the back. If you're feeling strain in your back, you may be relying on the back more than the glutes and the hamstrings and your core. Okay. All right, inhale, come forward, relax through the glutes. Bend, come up, engage. Relax, meaning don't squeeze your butt. Okay, keep it relaxed. Now engage. Come up. Inhale, hinges from the hips. Exhale. 2 more, inhale. Exhale up, and last 1. And release it. Awesome work. All right, set those down carefully. Grab some water if you like. Take a little break. All right, going on. Round 2, or section 2 here. Okay, so now, here's where you can use your elevated surface. So I'll show you this move on the elevated surface. Actually, you can just do it with me so that you know where you're going. Okay, first move, basic push-up. So you can take yourself up to a much higher level than what I have. You could even start on the wall. Okay, so very first level is on the wall. Next level down is about countertop height, and then down from there. Okay, whatever levels you have available. So let's bring it on down. I'm going to start on the knees and with an elevated surface. Okay, so we'll start here. Hands are wide. Okay, so hands are wider than your shoulders. They're out to the sides, and your elbows do go back. It's not this. Okay, so if you do this, you're going to probably get something happening in your shoulder here. Okay, we don't want that. So bring those elbows down. It's more of a natural position here. Fingers are turned out just a bit. Okay. Find your plank. So even if you're on your knees, you're away from your item. Look at the angle that I'm at. Okay, so you're away from your item that your hands are resting on. Let your shoulders drop down. Engage through the core. Drop those ribs down. Engage through hips up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come up. I want you to bring your chest down close to the item that you're on, and then bring it back up. Okay, good. Make sure that as you're doing this, that you're not allowing your hips to stay back here, okay? Come as close to the item as you need and come up higher if that's necessary, okay? Come up to a wall, come up to a dresser, a countertop, whatever you have. Okay, your chest stays lifted. Exhale, push back. Good. Let's go, last 4. 3, you could always pop those knees up if where you are is pretty comfortable. 2, and 1. Now remember, I want you to take a moment, take a break. As you're taking that quick break, I'm going to just remind you, we will do these again. Your hands have to be wide, okay? You have to be wide. If you bring your hands in here, this is something totally different. I need you to take your hands out wide and make sure what you're on is really steady, okay? So now we go into our plank position. So once again, that can be on an elevated surface. I'm going to start there just so that we can do that together. Okay, so we're plank. Hands are going to be more in line with your shoulders, okay? And as I'm lifted, the chest is going to be forward, okay? So this is a much more elevated plank position. So starting here, I want you to draw your right elbow back and then bring it back down and tap the floor or item you're on. Okay, bring it back, little row, take it back and tap. Bring it back. Now, if wherever you are, you're comfortable enough that you can pop those knees up, you could take a little more intense here. Okay, a little more intense variation. Give me 1 more. Knees can stay down and you can stay as elevated as you need to. Okay, switch sides, bring it back, row, tap, row. This could even be on a wall at an angle. Okay, and row. There are now no excuses, honestly, at all, that you're like, I can't do it. Yeah, you can. You can do it. You got to get yourself in the right spot and you have to actually try. You have to do this or you can't do it. That's all I can say. All right, so go 1 more. It's available to everybody at every level. We just got to get to the right space. Bring it down. Press back. All right, you have to start somewhere or you won't get where you want to go. All right, so you have to start somewhere. Let's come up. Now, stationary lunge. Okay, and again, we're always being mindful of our knees. But if we have a little discomfort in the knee, we're going to try to continue to work on that with foam rolling. We're going to work on that with strengthening. And we're going to work on that with stretching, and especially through the hips. Okay, but I want you to find a lunge position that's comfortable for you. If we don't work the muscles, if we stop working the muscles because, we're like, oh, my joints are uncomfortable. Don't work through excruciating pain, but you do need to work the muscles around them or they will always be uncomfortable, right? We have to work these muscles. Okay, so we need to do it in some way that's safe for you. All right, so if you can stay in a lunge, we're holding it here. We're just little ones going down and up. That's it. Just little ones down and up. Watching this front knee. That knee's not moving forward. The big toe is on the floor. Back knee is dropping down. Just little ones right there. Inhale. Bring it down. Exhale up. Notice there's not additional movement here. So whenever I do it, I'm not moving forward. The knee's not moving forward. We're just lifting and lowering. That's it. Just lifting and lowering your body. Let's take 2 more. And remember, we will add weights, but you can always opt out of the weights on the next round. Come back to center and just switch sides. So you could step up and switch or just flip it around. Okay, get ready. Front knee, watch it there. Make sure that you're looking at your knee or that you have something you can look in, a mirror or something. So that knee starts right over your heel and not out here. Okay, so start there and then just lift and lower. Notice it's not moving, right? The knee is not going horizontal here. So give yourself plenty of space that you can lift and lower. Inhale, exhale up. Good, last 4, up, 3, 2, good. Even if it's a very small range of motion. 1, and back to center. Very good. All right, step it back. Now, similar to what we did a moment ago when we did our hinged lift and lower or deadlift. Okay, we're going to do something similar to that. So I want you to take your left foot back. So just stagger it back slightly behind the right foot, not in a balance beam, but just that space that's behind the right foot. Okay, so it stays in line on the left side here. And now we're going to lean back into it a little bit. Okay. Now lowering down at an angle on that right side and coming back up. So a little staggered deadlift. Send the hips back, come up, shift. So notice what's happening. You're hinging from your hips. Your hips are going back pretty far, and then you're coming back up. If the range of motion in your hamstrings doesn't allow for you to come that far, go to where you can and come back up. Okay. Inhale, exhale up, and 3. Anchor through the big toe on that right foot. Your chest is lifted. Notice how flat the back is. Okay, so the back is nice and flat, like you could land a tray across it and it would balance. Come back up, switch sides. Plant that big toe, step your other foot back slightly, staggered. Okay, and then just kind of shift your weight back a bit. Now come forward, hinge from the hips, up, squeeze the glute. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale, exhale up. Neck long, so remember you're squeezing something like an orange between your chin and chest. Inhale down, exhale up, press into that big toe, press into your heel. 3, 2, and 1. Now coming back up, a basic movement, but I really want you to engage the muscles here, okay? So we're going to do curl to press. Arms are going to be palms facing forward, okay, or facing up, shoulders back, elbows pulled in. They don't have to squeeze in, but they're pulled in. We're going to curl first. So curl and then release. I know we don't have any resistance, extra resistance here, but I want you to squeeze the muscle. That way you know that when you do this move with resistance, you're not squeezing the hands. Squeeze the muscle right there, the bicep. Okay, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Now pause, bring the elbows up, flip and reach up to the sky. Okay, bring it back down, release, curl, flip the palms, reach, bring it back down. Okay. Inhale, exhale, reach, bring it back down. Good. It's very similar to what we did in the very first move, but I'm keeping those elbows a little more narrow. Okay, good. 2 more, curl, then lift, reach, flip those palms, bring it back down. 1 more, squeeze, press, and bring it down. Awesome work. Okay, we're gonna add some resistance to these moves, okay? Push up will stay the same, but I want you to work at the most efficient level for you, but the most challenging level for you. So once again, it can be on a wall, but if it's on a wall, you have to back yourself up like you're in a plank, okay? You've got to be at an angle at least. So if you're on a wall, your hands are still wider than your shoulders and your elbows move back, your chest moves forward, your whole body moves, okay? Those hands are not up here past your shoulder line, bring them down. So your fingertips are about level with your shoulders, your arms are lower than your shoulders, okay? So this would be your very first level. Work your way down. You can stay on the knees or toes. Your last level is from the floor. Same thing, okay? Knees or toes. Ready. We're going for 8 of them. The best, strongest push-ups you've got today. All right, let's go. Down, take it up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Good. Push it away. 4, 3, your booty's going with you. 2, core strong. And 1. Good job. Press it back. Give it a little break. All right, we're going back to that plank position. So again, this could be elevated because we will take that one arm back. All right, so this can be plank on the wall. Make sure you're at an angle so that your core has to work. That's really what this is about. Core engagement and the rowing effect for the lats here. Okay, so you can be on the wall, you can be on your elevated surface, knees down or up, or all the way to the floor. Okay, so let's grab a weight. Now, we're taking that move. I'm gonna start on the knees just to get you started, okay? And then we can move from there. So all the way up to anywhere down toward the surface or to the floor. Find your plank. Reach your hand forward, pull just the arm back. I want you to keep your hips really steady. That's the intention. Exhale, pull back. Okay, so if this is feeling okay for you and you want to lift your knees, take it to a higher variation. Okay. Inhale, exhale, row. We're keeping those hips super steady. That's really the real challenge, and those feet can be wide. Come on, 2 more. 1 more. Switch sides. Okay. Plant the other hand, grab the weight, and row. Pull back, 8, 7, 6. Remember, if you're here, you're just still at that angle. 5, 4, 3 on the floor, 2, and 1. Woo, all right. Lots of focus there. Shake it out. Shake out those wrists. All right, coming back up to standing. So find your kneeling, come up to stand. Bend your knees, grab your weights. Once again, stationary lunge. So if you don't want to add any extra weight and you just want to work on the movement, that's fine. You're still lifting and lowering your own body weight. Okay, so if you want to add extra weights, grab them. Feet are wide from side to side. They don't have to be too far back, but make sure this back leg is far enough back that when you come down, you're not coming forward. All right, so we're going right straight down. Shoulders back, down and up for 8, 7, still breathing, 6, 5. Plant that front big toe, and that also helps protect your knee. Okay, come on, last 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. Inhale, lower down, exhale up. Good, just 8 of them here. 7, watching your front knee. 6, 5, we're halfway. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it out, good. All right, back to that staggered deadlift. So right foot planted, big toe on the floor, left leg steps back a few inches. Lean back into that back foot a little bit first. Anchor your front foot, waist to the front. Come forward, and then back up. Okay. Inhale, exhale, up. You want to really feel that in that right glute especially. Down, bring it up. Good. Inhale, making sure your front leg stays as straight as you can and you're only going down. So even if it's a few inches, that's perfectly okay. That's just your range of motion today. Okay, that's not mine, it's yours, and it's perfect. All right, so inhale, forward, come on, we got 2 more on this side. Inhale down, exhale up. Last 1. Bring it up, switch sides, inhale. Go right away into that deadlift and up. Working the glutes. Inhale, come forward. These are all functional movements, right? So, I mean, there's so many times you have to bend over to grab something, or you need to balance yourself to pick something up. Okay, so it's always preferable that the knees are bent when we're actually lifting a heavier load. But you will find from time to time that you will find yourself in a very awkward position where you're like, you know what, that actually came in handy. Okay, so it's important that we do a little bit more single leg work. Okay, so let's do 3. Really squeeze, release, 2, and 1. Back to standing. Here we go. Curl to press, palms flip up, engage. Pull it up, flip the palms, reach overhead. Bring it back down. Inhale, exhale, flip. Inhale down, good. Exhale up. Let your elbows just hang underneath your shoulders and then press up to the sky. Make sure the ribs stay down, no over or hyperextension in the low back. Let's go. 3, 2, and 1 more. Awesome job. All right, bring it back down. We're gonna set those weights off to the side. We're gonna end with 1 more round of that core work that we did. So come on down to the mat. Now I'm going to give you additional options. Go back to where we started. I'll start there in the first move or two, and then we'll progress. So rolling back, tuck to hollow. Okay, first variation. Dropping your toes, reaching your hands. Come up, give it a tuck. Inhale, reach. Your next option and variation is to drop those legs out, reach, and then hollow out, okay, or tuck. Hollow, hold, or just keep your knees bent where we started. Inhale, exhale. 4, 3, really try to scoop it up. 2, and last 1. Now leg flutters, hands can stay behind the head, your head can stay on the floor. Take the legs up, find the spot that you can hold the legs, even if the knees are bent a little, okay? Ideally, we're gonna hold them down a little lower, and then we're going to just flutter here for 8, 7, 6, 5, pull the belly in, 3, 2, 1, take the legs up. A little crossover side to side. Come on. Almost done today. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet down. Basic crunch lift. Inhale. Exhale, curl. Keep your head heavy into your fingertips. Make sure this is coming from your core, not your neck. Scoop and lift. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. Hold the last one. Now, little pulses up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it, and crisscross. So feet can stay on the floor or lift them up and straighten one leg out. Here we go. Come on, 8 more. 8 total. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hollow hold to alternating foot reach. So just take one leg down, lift the other leg, lift up, reach toward it, and switch. Lift and switch. Now once again, that other foot, the knee can stay bent or the foot can land to the floor. Reach. Let's take one more additional option here. Take this last one and pause. Take the legs down as low as you can hold them. Find that hollow hold. One leg at a time comes up and down. Up and down. I know that's intense. The knees can be bent. Bring it up. Bring it up. Come on. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. You did it. Woo. Drop it. Just drop it on the mat. Shake it out a little. Bring those feet to the floor, arms out to the sides, and sway the knees. Woo. Awesome work. Okay, bring it back in. Take the feet to the mat, arms by your side, and let's clear that front body out with some bridges. Lifting and lowering. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Nice and slow and steady. And 1. Bring it back down. All right, very, very good. I want you to take the right ankle, cross it over the left leg, a little figure 4 release here. So reaching through the triangle with your right hand, just hold that left leg. You can rock it side to side. And then switch sides. Okay. And then from here, just uncross the legs. Roll to one side to press up. Coming back into seated. Once you find seated, take left arm, bring it across, pull it in, give it a little hug, let your head fall toward the hand that's free over here. Drop the shoulder down. And then come back to center, sweep the arms a couple times, and then take that opposite arm across and hold it. Let the head fall, drop the shoulder. And then come back to center, sweep those arms a few times. Seated tall, inhale, exhale, take a twist. And then around to the other side. Back to center. Sweep the arms up, give it a big reach and a big deep breath in. Exhale, sweep back out to the sides. 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. Take that last one with a big breath of gratitude for showing up today, doing something good for you. Let that land right there at the center into your heart. Take a little bow to yourself with that honor of gratitude. Awesome work. Thanks for showing up.